And 680's Richard Southern joins us. Richard, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Roger. How are you today? What's new and exciting?
Good, it's Thursday.
Yes, it is. Already. I like these short weeks.
We do. And you know what? These weeks are getting shorter as we head towards RRSP contributions. The deadline, March 1st this year, right?
Yep, midnight. March 1st. So a couple of tips to sort of keep in mind as we approach that deadline. These are from CIBC. First off, the bank says you may want to think about, if you're married, contributing to a spousal RSP if you expect your spouse to have a lower income in retirement. Don't wait to the very last minute because, you know, a lot of the banks get very busy towards the March 1st deadline, so leave enough time. You want to make sure you get a chance to get that tax deduction for the 2017 tax year. Just do it, CIBC says, meaning make your RSP contribution in cash. Just put the cash in there. You can figure out how to invest it at a later date. Contributions, of course, can be made online with your particular bank. This is a good one. If you're in a lower income bracket, say making under $45K a year, you might want to think about forgetting about the RSP altogether. Contribute to a TFSA instead, because if you're in that lowest tax bracket, your tax rate will be the same or higher when you retire. And if you take money out of an RSP when you retire, that's taxable. You may lose some government income-tested benefits. File your taxes as soon as you make your contribution, especially, Roger, if you've taken out a loan for your RSP. Yep. You want to make sure you get that paid back as soon as you can.
Because you want to get your money back.
Yes, sir.
I always love when people get excited about getting money back, but it's like, wait, that was my money in the first place, wasn't it?
Right. Still feels nice to get that check in April, though. And
it does. I won't complain about it, that's for sure. All right, Air Canada hoping to attract more customers flying on a budget. The company is introducing basic economy fares.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Well, it's, you know, you pay a lower price, but then you give up a lot of rights and you don't, you know, have a lot of choice as far as where you want to sit, what you want to bring on the plane. This is something U.S. airlines have really started to roll out in recent years. Air Canada's basic economy, not quite as restrictive as what we're seeing in the U.S. The differences are this. The tickets cannot be modified or refunded in any way. You don't earn any air miles whatsoever. Forget about that. And basic economy tickets are not eligible for upgrades. Unlike the U.S. airlines, Air Canada not restricting any carry-on baggage. So a little bit of a cheaper fare to give up some of those things, Roger. Of course, Air Canada doing this as it looks to keep pace with WestJet. It's going to start a super budget carrier later this year called Swoop, which is going to have very low fare. So Air Canada trying to keep pace.
Was it Ryanair where they thought about doing standing? Remember they were going to have people stand on the plane?
Yeah, the CEO, he jokes a lot about that. You don't know sometimes, is he joking or is he serious? He also talked about paid toilets on the plane, so you'd have to put in a coin before you get into the bathroom on the airplane. But you know, Ryanair, they're interesting. They've done away with such things as window shades on the plane simply to reduce the overall weight. They are super budget, and they actually do quite well money-wise because of that.
Oh, that's scary, though. Okay, Cineplex. Earnings out today, boosted profits, but has nothing to do with more people going to the theater.
No, fewer people went, and this is the quarter that covered the Star Wars release, so you'd think they might have good attendance. It wasn't the case. Cineplex fourth quarter profit coming in at $28.8 million. It was up from a year ago. Even with the lower attendance, they made up the difference at the concession stand. They sold more popcorn and more drinks and more booze. You know, you can buy alcohol in the theater now, Roger. The stock, though, it's been in... I know, these VIP, they're big at the upsell now. You go in these VIP theaters, you pay more. Cineplex stock down 35% over the past 12 months. I had a chance to talk to its CEO today, Ellis Jacob. I asked him what's going on with the stock, what's it going to take to get it back up and running. And he says, listen, we're moving away from being a cinema company. We want to be more of an entertainment company, more of a media company. So I think, Roger, that speaks to the fact that he knows that Netflix is starting to eat the lunch of the movie theater business now, taking people away.
Not going to lie, though, I still love going to the theater, seeing a movie.
It's still fun once in a while, absolutely.
It's needed. Okay, south of the border, of course, the gun debate raging on. And a bit of a surprise, gun makers apparently facing some tough times when it comes to their business. And some people wouldn't mind that, would they?
Absolutely. And, you know, there's a lot of investors who actually say, we don't want to invest in these companies. We're not interested. But nonetheless, firearms companies are facing declining sales in the States right now. Their stock prices are falling, and they got a lot of debt on the books. American Outdoor Brands, formerly Smith & Wesson, its stock has plummeted, cut almost in half. Remington Outdoor Company, a legendary 200-year-old U.S. firearms maker, it's planning to file for bankruptcy. What's going on? Well, when Obama was in the White House and the Democrats in charge, gun sales would rise after a mass shooting for fear of more restrictive gun laws. But with Trump in the White House and the Republicans in control, there's little chance of any restrictive gun laws being put in place. So sales have actually fallen. We heard from the CEO of American Outdoor, and he said, in his words, the fear-based buying of firearms has stopped.
Oh, no, he must be heartbroken.
I know. How terrible. But there you go.
All right, we're going to leave that one well enough alone. Subway rolling out a new loyalty program as the chain looks to boost falling sales.
Yeah, things not going so hot at Subway by all accounts. It's a private company, so we don't have all the details, but it's believed it's facing its biggest sales slump in its 50-year history. It's launching a retooled loyalty program called My Way Rewards, launching here in Canada and in the U.S. next month. It's going to be available at all Subway's restaurants, and they have a lot of them. For every dollar you spend, you get 4 Subway tokens. Receive 200 tokens, and you get $2 in Subway credits. So basically, if you want to get a free sub at the cost of, say, $6, you have to spend $150. Roger, doesn't sound so good. They will give you some surprise treats along the way, maybe a free cookie or a free drink, but doing what they can here to sort of get customers back in the door.
Yeah, it's probably all those Subway tokens in your pocket, too. Get it? All right, I know they're not real tokens. Don't write in. Okay, world's second richest person doesn't do a lot of their own shopping, no surprise, but Ellen DeGeneres is asking Bill Gates to guess the grocery store prices, and what a surprise, he had no clue.
Yeah, Gates was on the show, and she had all these grocery store items. She asked him to say, what was the price of rice-a-roni? Bill Gates said $5 for a box of rice-a-roni. Of course, the actual price won. Tide Pods, they asked Gates how much he thought Tide Pods were. $4, he said. Not more like $20. Frozen pizza bites, $22. Gates guessed. More like $9.
What kind of pizza bites does he eat?
I don't think he's eaten pizza bites, Bill Gates, with $91 billion in the bank, Roger. Probably eating something nicer. Frozen spinach cheese dip, he thought it was $10. It was more like $3.66. He was more accurate, though, when it came to the price of dental floss. Gates now the second richest person in the world behind Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. And DeGeneres also asked him to name the few things he splurged on with his money, and he said there was really only 3: a Porsche, a private jet, which was a Bombardier Gulfstream, and a $125 million mansion in Washington State.
It's not splurging, that's just living.
That's living the life, and he's giving away most of his money to charity, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good part. Thanks, Richard.
Thanks, Roger.